Hello and welcome to Ukraine Today. Today my guest in Warsaw is Marta Jaroszewicz, the Migration Project Coordinator for the Center of the Eastern Studies. Mrs. Jaroszewicz, thank you for coming. You have recently published a report concerning Ukrainian migrations to this conflict on Donbass and economic instability in Ukraine. So could you say how many Ukrainians did flee their homes and come to EU? And could you tell us the most impressive numbers of your investigation?
Thank you very much for your question. I am afraid I can't give you exact numbers because we don't know really, and statistics even in Poland or in the EU is not sufficient to say so. But let's say that currently, legally, in the EU there are 800,000 Ukrainians legally staying at the end of 2014. But we don't know how many of those people came because of war in Donbass and how many due to the economic reasons in Poland, but these are like more my personal feelings than the exact numbers. Based of more like qualitative research, it would be 300,000–400,000 Ukrainians.
Poland is the most popular destination country for Ukrainian migrants. Is it difficult for them to integrate in Polish society? Do they have some problems with, for example, getting a job?
Poland now, it seems that Poland also, according to the European statistics, but also what we can see here in Poland, Poland is the main destination country now in the EU for Ukrainian citizens. Before they were like Czechia, Czech Republic, Italy, now this is Poland. And how they integrate. The issue here is a little bit complicated because most of those people, these are short-term labor migrants, like coming for a few months. So generally they don't integrate because they just do jobs and come back to Ukraine. With long-term migration, I believe that of course they integrate pretty well because there are similarity in language and culture, but still they should be more directed towards them integration programs. Poland should pay more attention and direct some projects towards Ukrainians, but also that Ukrainians, if they decide to stay here, they shouldn't close them in their homes or, I don't know, in church. In Ukrainian society, they should go to Polish, I don't know, libraries, Polish theaters, whatever, to Polish schools. They should send their children to Polish school because they are also rather closed society and they live in their network. So they look for job because another Ukrainian friend can help. They don't go to labor office, for instance, right? They don't use Polish mechanism. And they should start using it, and then, you know, both sides should do more to integrate Ukrainians. If they, of course, want to stay, if they are here only for a few months, I think, yes, then integration level should be lower, right? If they are not planning to stay here for longer.
You might know that Polish companies applied an incredible number of job offers for Ukrainians here in Poland, about 400,000. How could you comment on that?
I don't know, and I think it's not possible. And here there is another issue, that there are also some, how should I say, I mean, the number of Ukrainians is one thing, and other thing, this is labor market, visas, and people sometimes coming on working visas, they don't have intentions really to work here. And so they either go further, for instance, to Germany, or they just want to have Polish visa, right? So that's why they do receive this visa or work permit, but they don't have intention to really look for Polish jobs, right, at Polish labor market. They just want to have EU document, and I think it's more related to that phenomenon.
According to one of the last poll, Poles feel sympathy to Ukrainians, but at the same time, one-third of the Poles consider that Ukrainian can be a threat to Poles together with Arabs. What is the reason of such conclusions?
One thing, this is inflow of Ukrainians that really significantly increased after war in Donbass, or maybe because of the deterioration of situation in Ukraine, economic situation. But unfortunately, there is another much more important phenomenon for EU, let's say, as such, not for Poland. This is this global refugee crisis. And generally all EU societies are getting more closed, right? They don't want to accept so many migrants as before. So then the dynamics is so huge that it may be that at some point Ukrainians could be also like put in the same basket, right? But we should. I am hoping that if we have more time, we could be working on that with the society. But now it's happening too quickly. I mean, a global refugee crisis, and it's not only Polish society. If you would look at, I don't know, German or Austrian statistics, that would be the same.
What kind of threat Poles and other EU citizens feel? I
don't think that these are because these are feelings. These are not like objective-based threats, right? Like generally everybody it's human nature. Everybody is feared something that he or she does not know. So this is one thing, right? Second thing is that generally it's everybody is feared if somebody is much different than he or she. So, and then we do have also the issue of Islam and the issue of, I don't know, women's rights and so on, right? Whether this society are so different from ours, right? But of course, if we meet more often, and this is like global, let's say, experience show that we could see that generally we are not so different, right? But it takes time, and we don't have this time. And Polish society is specific in the sense that it's one of the most homogeneous in the EU. So we really didn't have contacts before with foreigners. That's why it's so difficult for Poles to get used to that new situation.
There are a lot of talks in Europe about migrant crisis and possible changes in Europe due to the refugee flow. What do you think on that?
This is really the problem number one for now in the EU, not really financial problems, I don't know, Greece, Eurozone, neither Ukraine and war in Donbass, relations with Russia. No, this is really like the main topic because it's so emotional and it touches upon values, it touches upon European solidarity and so on. So yes, it changes like our society and so it's not good, right? Because like Europe may be in crisis because of that. And we don't know how to deal with the phenomenon because the dynamics is so huge. Like everybody was hoping that because these were more like summer inflows, that for instance people were coming through the Mediterranean Sea only during the summer, but October showed that 200,000 people came. So it seems that it will not stop. And if it will continue like that, there may be like huge problems in the EU now. But maybe they will stop in the sense that maybe EU will close more on immigrants, or maybe still there will be some more like I don't know, some possibilities more international involvement in the conflict resolution in Syria, right? So, and more discussion with Turkey. So, like, I don't know, but like, anyway, it's not good, right? It's not good neither for Europe nor for the Middle East. And it's not good for Ukraine as well, because it puts its problems in the wider wider context. So now everybody is more talking about war in the Middle East and refugee crisis, not about things related, for instance, to internally displaced people in Ukraine, right? And war in Donbass.
Mrs. Jaroszewicz, thank you a lot for finding time to talk to us.
Thank you.
I'm Margarita Sytnik, together with Marta Jaroszewicz, the Migration Project Coordinator for the Center of the Eastern Studies from Warsaw.